Hello everyone, good morning to all of you. Hello everyone, very good morning. Welcome to the platform of Unacademy, India's largest learning platform. Yes, am I audible, visible to all of you? Yes, am I audible, visible to all of you clearly, loudly? Yes, good morning everyone. Anyone is here? Hello, hello, hello. Am I audible to all of you? Mhm. Yes, hello everyone. Very good morning to all of you. Am I audible? Okay, welcome to the platform of Unacademy, India's largest learning platform. Here we are going to provide you daily live classes, live test, quiz, structured courses along with unlimited access with one subscription. Yes, one subscription you will get the access to all. I hope all of you downloaded the Unacademy learning app. Those who haven't, please download it because the special classes are available on Unacademy app only. So please download it and tell others to do so. Let me introduce myself, those who are new here. My name is Harshvardhan Singh and I completed my graduation as an engineer and later I completed my master's in economics. Earlier I was selected as an intelligence bureau officer and I'm having 8-year experience in the field of civil services as an educator at Delhi, Pune and Nagpur. Currently my lecture series on modern India as well as international relation is going on. I already finished one more lecture series on world history. It is there available on YouTube as well as it is available on Unacademy app. If you have missed it, then just go and watch. The special classes are available on app and most of the time it is available at 9 o'clock. Those who want to connect with me, this is my Telegram channel at Unacademy underscore Harshvardhan. Here you can ask me the question as well as here you can get the information about the lecture timings and all. Those who want to connect with me through app, then this is the address at Harshvardhan Singh for you. Yes, these are our top educators. Please do watch their videos. It will be more helpful for you in your preparation. I hope all of you subscribe to Unacademy. Those who haven't taken subscription of Unacademy, I insist you to have a subscription of Unacademy. Here we are going to provide you the option of Plus as well as Iconic. The Plus and Iconic option we are providing you the 1 month, 3 month, 6 month, 12 month, 24 and 36 month option. I insist you to at least take a subscription of 12 months so that you are going to cover your syllabus within that time. And whenever you want to take the subscription, please use my code. This is my code HarshV10. HarshV10 is my code. You will get the 10% discount as well as you're going to count as my student. Along with that, I insist you to take the Iconic subscription because here we are going to provide you all the aspects of guidance including personal feedback. And yes, your subscription helps us to make such videos. If you are not going to subscribe, then it is not possible for us to present such videos and such lecture in front of you. So your help is most important in this section. We are having optional subscription as well. Yes, the new batches for UPSC CSE 2021, 22 and 23 is going to start on 11th January. These are the batches. The top educators are there. 6-month batches, bilingual, Hindi and English batches are available. Please join them. And we are going to provide you the another option that is UPSC CSE optional plus UPSC CSE GS Iconic subscription. Here for the 12 month you have to pay 88,705. The same way if you want to take the plus combo, then you will have to pay 70,103 rupees. And yes, please use our code UPSC CSE there as well. Yes, Neha, good morning. You are there. Good. These are my special classes available on Unacademy app. Please do join me there. Okay, so WTO, World Trade Organization. Today we are going to start the session of WTO. Yes, how many people are there? Okay, Neha, good morning. WTO. As some of you read this topic of WTO in economics. Yes, you have read this topic of WTO in economics. So what's the relevance of this topic in international relation as well? As some of you might have this question, how this topic is relevant in this aspect as well. It is very simple. As in UPSC or in the worldwide, all the topics are interrelated with each other. This topic is having importance in economics as well as this topic is having importance in international relation, because in international relation, trade is an important aspect. Am I right? Trade is an important aspect. And once the trade is an important aspect, WTO also played an important role. So just tell me one thing, a very simple question I just want to ask you. What do you think, what the function of WTO, what WTO is performing? Means what's the basic function of WTO? Means how WTO work and all. I just want to ask a very basic question. Yes, Neha. What do you think? क्या लगता है आपको कि WTO क्या काम करता होगा? As WTO is an institution. Yes, WTO is an institution. How it is going to help India? Yes, a very basic question to you. How it is going to help India in international relation or international trade? Okay, but what kind of function you are expecting from WTO here? Yes, what kind of function you are expecting from WTO? What WTO is going to do? Are they going to take part in trading activity? Are they going to pressurize the government to pursue any policy? Rules, regulation for the trade. Yes, actually, can we say, Neha, it is in simple word that WTO, where is WTO acts as a facilitator. Yes, can we say that WTO acts as a facilitator? Yes, because it is an institution for smoothing of the trade and other activities. They are there because it is an international trade. The dispute may there. Yes, why the all countries has to follow the same policies? Because if you really want to promote the trade and other activities, then you have to require a neutral platform, and WTO acted as that neutral platform, which is going to take care of the developing nation, developed countries, as well as they are going to take care of the underdeveloped nation. There should not be any discrimination against the underdeveloped and developing countries. Clear? So they want to provide the fair competition for all. Yes, so that is the basic function of WTO. But how this WTO started, that is also an interesting thing. As here we have mentioned that is GATT, that is General Agreement on Trade and Tariff. That is GATT. General Agreement on Trade and Tariff began since 1946, and culminated into WTO. But my basic question to you, yes, there are many students joined with me right now. My basic question to you, why there is a need of GATT? Yes, why there is a need of GATT at that time? The word means here we are mentioning the thing. GATT, General Agreement on Trade and Tariff, began since 1946. But very basic question I am asking you. Why? Why do you think there is a need of GATT? Because early 1946 there was no GATT and all. So what do you think? There were no trade in worldwide? Yes? Yes everyone? What do you think? Why it is so? Why it is so? What do you think? Yes Neha? As she is only replying rest, people are not responding. So that's why I'm asking question to her only. What do you think? Why there was or there is a necessity of the GATT after 1946? Yes? Don't you think it's very simple question I ask? Because as I mentioned right now, pre 1946 there was no such a concept of GATT, General Agreement of Trade and Tariff. But still the trade was going on. Why it was necessary? Yes, do you have any idea? Anyone is having any idea related to this? Yes, anyone is having any idea related to this? Yes, everyone, do you have any idea? For providing platform for negotiation of trade, as Neha said. Yes, what about the others? Do you have any idea? Yes, of course, but why it is necessary? The most important thing, just look at the year. This is going to give you the exact idea. This year is after World War II. And you know what happened in World War II? World War II was the most disastrous war ever fought in the world. It destroyed the economy of the world and mostly the European countries are affected a lot. Means basically after Second World War most of the European countries has to start it from scratch. Nothing is there. Everything is devastated. Loss of life and everything we discuss about that. So now they have to start it with fresh. That is the one reason behind the formation of this GATT. Clear? The second most important thing, as the year 1946, after Second World War, you know there was a process of decolonization. Decolonization begins. This process of decolonization also adds some pressure because the newly independent nations are there, and these newly independent nations are the victims of colonization, and trade was one of the aspects through which this process was started. Yes, am I right or wrong? Yes, am I right or wrong? Yes, what do you think? Whatever I said, do you agree? Yes, say something. Your response is most important for us because it is an interactive session. Yes, good. It is very simple. The trade is one of the aspects through which the process of colonization, process of exploitation started. And that's why there should not be the case. There should not be any repetition of this thing in latter times. Clear? So for that reason, there should be a one platform which acts as a facilitator. Yes, it should be act as a facilitator. So now there was a agreement among the Western European countries and other members, including India, also participant in that, the General Agreement of Trade and Tariffs. This process for negotiation on the trade and tariff and started since 1946. First round was, of course, Geneva round was there. Through Geneva round, such negotiations started. Yes, the next thing, there were several rounds of negotiation. It started from Geneva and culminated into Uruguay round. This Uruguay round led to the foundation of WTO. Clear? And yes, remember one thing, India is one of the founder member in GATT, means they participated since the beginning, and yes, after WTO also we are the important player in WTO because we are having so many concerns related to trade. So in that there are two most important rounds. One is Tokyo round, another is Uruguay round. Because this round we're talking about something other than tariff barriers. Clear what exactly it is we are going to mention. So what is the speciality of Tokyo round? The Tokyo round was basically in decade of 1970s and they focused on reduction or elimination. The word is either reduction or elimination of non-tariff barriers. Yes, any guess? Do you have any guess of non-tariff barriers? If you have, please let me know. If you don't have, don't worry. I'm going to explain it. The Tokyo round and Uruguay round, they focused mainly on reduction or elimination of non-tariff barrier. Yes, Neha, you have a basic problem. What is tariff? Tariff, we can consider it as a tax or any duty which is imposed on any particular product. Clear? Yes, in general sense, we can say it is kind of duty or tax imposed on any product. And that tax is so high, so high. Because of that reason, trade is not going to promote. Let's take example. Suppose if your product is the manufacturing cost of that product is 10 rupees and after everything, packaging, selling and all, your product is of 20 rupees. But if you want to sell that product in India, India is having imposing the tariff barrier. And what kind of tariff barrier? To say that import duty should be 1000 per product. Yes, this is your product. It is having worth of 20 rupees. But here in India, as I mentioned, if you want to sell this product, then on every item you have to pay 1000 rupees. Then that item is about 1020 rupees. So can you consider that this tariff barrier is going to promote the trade, or it acts as a barrier? It is going to discourage the trade. Yes, it is going to discourage. Of course, it is going to discourage the trade because we are human and we have common sense. Most of us related to money. We consider 20 rupee product is there and why we are going to purchase for 1020. Clear? So in this way they are going to discourage. Clear? Yes, everyone, is that clear to you? There are many people who are not responding. They are just sitting and enjoying the lecture. Interactive session is there. So please interact so that I can consider, okay, people are really interested to know what exactly this WTO and all. Okay, so this two round, Tokyo round and Uruguay round, other than tariff, the barriers were there. So they want to reduce or eliminate it. So I'm asking the basic question to you, all of you. What do you think? What can be considered as a non-tariff barrier? Because whatever the example I quoted here, this example is of tariff barrier. Do you have any guess? Yes. Yes, anyone? Do you have any guess what is the non-tariff barriers? And do you know what? Initially, most of the developed countries criticize India for the same. This is also hint given to you because there are many countries who want to establish the trading relation with India, but presence of non-tariff barrier that dis India. Yes, Neha, you are the only candidate who is answering. So what do you think? What do you have any guess or shall I explain? Yes, do you have any guess or shall I explain this thing? What is non-tariff barrier as well? Say something. Yes, say something so that I will get to know, okay, shall I explain or you're going to explain and all. No excise duty. Okay. Okay, don't worry. I'm going to explain this point. What is tariff barrier? What is non-tariff barrier? Okay. In next slide. In next slide. The basic function of WTO is to promote multilateral trade. Yes, as I mentioned earlier, it acts as a facilitator, and their aim is to promote the multilateral trade between the different countries. Clear? And what's the importance of it? If trading relation is going to establish, then definitely it is going to establish the peace. If injustice is there, then that is going to disturb the peace. Next, work of WTO. What WTO is going to function. And don't worry, I'm going to explain tariff and non-tariff barrier in details. Clear? First, we are going to discuss the work of WTO. Very basic work, creation of trade-friendly environment. Creation of trade-friendly environment. Trade-friendly means equal opportunities. Equal opportunities for all. Fair treatment. Fair treatment should be given to both domestic and foreign product. Clear? There should not be any discrimination. There should not be any discrimination. Clear? That is trade friendly environment. But yes, it is not an absolute term that there is no discrimination at all. No. The discrimination word, as we mentioned here, is not an absolute. Some restrictions, some discrimination are always there, but it should not be what we can say blindfold. All product from one particular country is going to ban. That is illegal. Clear? Next important aspect, focus on reduction and elimination of trade barriers, both tariff and non-tariff. Yes, again we come to the same place. Don't worry. I'm going to discuss in detail. Next, WTO ensured. Yes, this is an important aspect of WTO. WTO ensured free movement of goods, services, capital, technology, etc. WTO ensured free movement of goods, services, capital, technology, etc. Can be considered movement of people as well. Yes, everyone. Yes, those boys and girls joined me today. Yes, very good morning to all of you once again. Yes, what do you think? Movement of people. Is it a part of it, or whether the WTO ensured the free movement of people as well? Just like free movements of goods, free movements of services, capital, technology. Yes, everyone. Hmm. There are many guys and girls. Why you are not responding? Because Sunday is there. Yes, what about others? Neha is only responding. What about others? Yes, Preeti, you joined as well. Good, good, good. Movement of people. So can we consider the movement of people is also refugees? Whether this movement of people consists of refugees as well? Yes, everyone. Hmm. A very simple question I asked to you. As we mentioned, WTO ensured the free movement of goods, services, capital, technology, and I asked you whether the movement of people, you said yes. Once you said yes, then I asked, what is your opinion about the refugees? It is also the movement of people from one place to another place. Yes, Preeti and Neha. Hmm. Neha is yes, refugees also. Are you serious, both of you? Means, really, really, you think so? Don't you think refugees are not a part of trade, or refugee is a crisis related to the humanity? Yes, the only two candidates are answering, rest are not. So that's why I'm asking this question to them only. Can we consider refugee as a part of trade? What's this? Are you serious? That refugee? No, it is not. The movement of people doesn't include the refugees because refugee is a crisis. It is dealt with the humanity, trade. Here the movement of people is basically we are talking about professionals. Clear? Here we are talking about professionals, not refugees. For example, Indians. Indians are migrating from India to America, India to Australia and other countries. That is known as movement of people. Refugees are not considered as a movement of people as a part of trade. It was simple. Why you give such an inappropriate answer? Okay, so now doubts. Yes, everyone. Doubts are clear to you? At least you can respond yes or no. All doubts are clear related to this point. WTO ensures. Next. WTO facilitate implementation. That is the main function. Implementation, administration, and operation of agreements. Implementation, administration, and operation of the agreement. Simple means any agreement is there, then they can implement, administer, and operate. Can we consider WTO can work as a dispute settlement body, or dispute settlement is a part of it? Yes, WTO facilitates implementation, administration, and agreement, operation of the agreement. If any dispute between two countries related to any agreement or anything, whether WTO can act as a dispute settlement body? Yes? Good. Yes, of course. WTO can act as it. They are going to perform or they are going to provide platform for tech. Clear? The next thing, work at WTO. WTO cooperate with the organizations like IMF, World Bank, etc. For what? What's the main function? To achieve the greater coherence in the global economic policy. Yes, because these two organizations are Bretton Woods body, World Bank and IMF. They are having importance in economic field. They played a major role in that, and WTO is cooperating with them for achievement of the greater coherence in global economic policy. Clear? Good. So that is also clear to you. Work of WTO is over. Yes. Is there any question? Any doubt? Or is that clear to you? Yes, the only two candidates responding, so that's why I'm asking the question to those. Yes, all doubts are clear related to the function or the working of WTO, what WTO is basically doing. So clear? Good. Okay, next. Next is a Uruguay round. This Uruguay round is very important because this round is of two aspects. First, discussion on non-tariff barrier, and the second, that is, it provided a restriction-free trade and laid the foundation of WTO. Yes, the Uruguay round started in 1886 to 1994. They discussed on various aspects, and this most important aspect is that reduction or elimination of non-tariff barrier. Every time this word is going to come, tariff barrier, non-tariff barrier, and I hope Neha is like, why this person is not explaining? Why every time he is going to say tariff, non-tariff? First explain it. Don't worry, I'm going to explain in next slide only. Yes. So that is through this negotiation that resulted into creation of restriction-free trade because they made an proposal. That proposal was agreed by most of the countries and that led to reduction of non-tariff barrier and sometimes elimination of it. Clear? And it paved the way for formation of WTO. Clear? It paved the way for formation of WTO. So Uruguay round is important because here the most important aspect discuss and finally lead the way for. Yes. Now we are going to discuss the tariff barrier. What exactly the tariff barrier is? Tariff barrier is basically a specific tax. Tariff barrier is a specific tax imposed on imports. Specific tax imposed on imports. That is known as tariff barrier. What's the aim of that? Aim is very simple, to restrict the inflow of foreign goods. To restrict the inflow of foreign goods. How to restrict? Just means a few minutes ago I mentioned how to do that. For example, another example I just want to mention, and this example is of your day-to-day life. Clear? Let's take example of any industry. Which one? Let's take example of automobile industry. Automobile industry. You know that in India, automobile sector is dominated by domestic player as well as it is dominated by foreign player. Foreign player, domestic player and foreign player. In domestic, we know the best example Tata, Mahindra, etc. Foreign player, everybody knows about Volkswagen, then Ford, etc. Clear? So these are the players. And there are foreign players as well. Those who do not have these players, that is Volkswagen, Ford, they have FDI in India. They invested money in India. They are manufacturing things in the India only. But there are several players which are not manufacturing things, any product in India. They are just selling the Porsche car, Porsche. So suppose any company, mm, which one? Rolls Royce. If they are selling their car, if they want to sell their car in India, the actual price of that car may be considered as a 1 crore. 1 crore or less than that as well. If 1 crore is there. So there are many Indians who are rich enough to purchase this. But what India is doing so to protect this industry, sorry, ये ज़्यादा ही हो गया ये इतना एग्जांपल इंडियन को समझ नहीं आएगा कैंसिल कैंसिल any example हाँ yes for example Fiat is also group and they are going to manufacture the low price cars as well. Low price cars they also manufactured along with the others. If government of India allowed the Fiat means basically we are talking about the Italian. If they are going to sell their product in India and the car is of 5 lakh rupees and they also manufacture the car of 5 lakh and these are all the hypothetical examples 5 lakh 5 lakh. So of course many people are going to buy this car because it is the imported car. Imported most means sophisticated features technologically upgraded things are available there in that cat in 5 lakh rupees. And what about domestic products? Of course, they are not having that much technological sound. So anybody is going to prefer the car with the 5 lakh. They are not going to prefer the car with the 5 lakh with all domestic features. Clear? So definitely if the people are going to purchase this car, so it is going to hamper their selling. And if their selling is going to hamper day by day, then definitely they are going to shut down that business. This can be a possibility that everybody is going to purchase that product because that product is having more finishing. So how to protect this thing? How to save the domestic industries from such invasion and import duty? The tariff barriers are the best option for that. So in that tariff barrier, they are going to impose the tax of 10 lakh rupees. So that car is right now of rupees 15 lakh. So at least they can discourage, means if a person is having capacity of 5 lakhs, that person cannot spend 15 lakh rupees for the same car which is available in India for 5 lakhs. It's very simple. So it is there to restrict the inflow of foreign players. It is there to discourage the flow of foreign players. And what is the important? Yes, the importance we already mentioned here. The importance is very why it is so to safeguard the domestic market. To safeguard the domestic market is an aspect of this tariff barrier. Clear? It is an aspect of tariff barrier and also if the country is poor then their aspect is to generate the revenue. To generate the revenue. Yes, everyone, is that clear to you? And India, yes, exam. This is the case. Pre-1991, it is one of the most important source for government of India. Clear? So, is that clear to you? Yes, Neha, Preeti, is that clear to you? Any confusion? Any doubt? Yes, is that clear to you? Yes, clear. Very good. Then tell me, custom duty, custom duty can be considered as a tariff barrier. Yes, can we consider the custom duty as a tariff barrier? Yes, you said all things are clear to you. So I asked custom duty whether it is considered as a tariff barrier. No? Yes, only Neha gave the answer. What about others? Whether we can consider the custom duty as a tariff barrier? Respond something. Yes, no, don't know. Say something. Before that, before explaining this thing, first you should know about the custom duty, whether the custom duty is means imposed on import or export. It is imposed on import or export. Yes, a very simple, I just want to explain. Whether the custom duty is imposed on import or export. Hmm. Yes, Preeti and Neha, what do you think? And rest guys are there. Yes, guys and girls. I'm expecting the answer from you as well. And do not feel that whatever you are going to say, it is incorrect or it is correct. You are not there to think about it. I am there to help you. Just say it. Right and wrong doesn't matter. I want just an explanation from you. What do you think? Your opinion matters to me. At least say something, you know it or you don't know it. Yes, Neha and Preeti? Or shall I explain? Shall I explain? No response from your side. See, Sunday is that day that people do not respond to anyone. Holiday. Okay, let me clear it this thing to you as you do not have, I don't think so you have any idea related to that. That is custom duty is import imposed on both. Custom duty is imposed on both on import and an export. It is not considered as a tariff barrier. It is custom duty is basically tax. Clear? It is a tax and which is imposed on both import as well as export. But tariff barrier is basically what's the reason? That's why. Please keep this in mind. The importance of tariff barrier is to protect, to safeguard the domestic market from outside. To protect, to save the domestic market from outside. But in custom duty, it is not the case. Custom duty is a way of tax through which you can augment your revenue source and it is an indirect tax. Clear? Yes, is that clear to you? Good. Next thing, non-tariff barrier. Yes, now Neha focused on it. Non-tariff barriers. What exactly non-tariff barriers? Non-tariff barriers are having various forms. Non-tariff barrier are having various forms like quantitative restriction, licensing, technical barrier, sanitary and phytosanitary regulation. Tariff barrier, what tariff barrier was there? You can impose. In the tariff barrier, you are going to impose tax on import. And what's the function? To safeguard domestic market. Yes, you all knew about it. To safeguard the domestic market, so imposition of tax on import. Then what's the difference between this non-tariff barrier? The non-tariff barrier is having the same function. Same. That is, they also want to protect the domestic market, but they use a different tool. Like what? The tools are quantitative restriction. Means, for example, they say that, example, only 1000 product you can sell. Only 1000 product you can sell in India. So this is the quantitative, not more than that. Hence it is not allowed. So it is the one of the form of discouragement. Clear? Licensing is another thing. Means if you want to import anything, then you have to take license. And you know what? Who is going to provide license? Government authority. And don't you think so? It is dependent on the will of the government. Yes, don't you think so? Because license means if you want to sell any product in India or in any country, that you have to take the license from Indian government or from that particular country. And if government doesn't want to allow access to that particular product, government is not going to provide the license. So it is one of the form of discouragement as well. And you know, like in pre-1991, we had this license Raj, and because of that, there was so much restriction imposed on it. Yes, everyone, do you know that? Yes, everyone, do you know that? Technical barrier, this is another problem. Means government can impose restriction. For example, government can say that no 5G phone. Yes, they can say that. Government can say that there should not be any 5G cell phone should be sale in India. This is the technical barrier. They said we don't want that. Even you know that earlier, after the 9 by 11, sorry, 26 by 11 attack was there. After 26 by 11, government of India use one thing, and that technical barrier they use that. What exactly they said that if the phone number is don't have the IMEI number, then we are not going to allow you. Clear? So such kind of non-tariff barriers are present. Yes, kind of non-tariff barrier are absent. So good, presence is there. So the main aim of the non-tariff barrier is the same. They want to discourage the trade. Which trade? That is import from the foreign and to safeguard the domestic market. Next, sanitary and phytosanitary regulation. This tool is used by mostly European nations. Sanitary, phytosanitary means related to the plant. Sanitary is related to the animal. And animal is man is also animal. Human we are. So Basically, this sanitary and phytosanitary regulations are those which government can impose on import of any product. They say that, for example, as I mentioned, most European countries use this. Most European countries use this. And why? What they say that, suppose if any particular chemical or anything is there, they say that your means content, chemical content should not exceed the 2% of that product. Clear? 2%, 1%. There should not be any chemical. You have to sell the organic product. So these are the ways through which government can impose a restriction, and they say that it is dangerous for the health of the people. It is dangerous for our flora and fauna. Along with that, whatever the products you are going to sell, they are not consumable for us. So they can impose that thing. And European countries, means other than USA, USA is there, but there this sanitary and phytosanitary regulation are not that strict, but European market is having strict. Clear? If any product, for example, grapes, mangoes, and all, Indians have used to sell. Last year, you have some news related to the same. Clear? So this is the way they can introduce some restriction, and the aim is always there. That is, they want to protect their domestic market. Yes, everyone, is that clear to you? Non-tariff barriers mean other than imposition of taxes. Yes, everyone, I just want to explain with very simple word. Other than imposition of taxes. Other than imposition of taxes, some tools are used by the government to discourage the import from other countries, and they are having different form like quantitative restriction, licensing, technical barrier, sanitary and phytosanitary regulation. Is that clear to you? Yes, everyone. Is that clear to you? All of you. This question is for all. Any question, any query related to tariff and non-tariff barrier? Because if you really want to understand the WTO in well manner, then these two words are very important. Tariff barrier, non-tariff barrier, because these two are an integral part of debate and discussion in the rounds, Doha rounds, clear? Bali rounds and all. So these words are there. If you don't understand it, please let me know. I'm going to explain in other words. Yes, is that clear to you? Everyone? Everyone, is that clear? No confusion, no doubt. Okay, no response. Now the WTO agreements, that is World Trade Organization, are having several agreements, and today we are discuss about the few agreements which are playing most important role. Clear? So the first agreement is related to AOA. The first agreement is related to AOA, that is Agreement of Agriculture or Agreement on Agriculture. What exactly is this agreement? Why this sector? Because agriculture is the most important sector in the world trade. Yes, and that's why WTO decided we should have the agreement on agriculture. So there are three aspects. Yes, there are three aspects of this agreement, that is AOA. First is market access, second domestic support, and third export subsidy. Market access, domestic support, and export subsidy. But the most important thing, why we started or why WTO was thinking about the same, because as you know that pre 1991 there was so much restriction or support, so much restrictions imposed by the government or the other product, as well as the government are giving so much support to domestic product. Restriction on foreign product and so much support was given to domestic product. So this agreement, that is agreement on agriculture, this is having three aspects: market access, domestic support and export subsidy. So what exactly the market access? So here is the market access. Trade distorting non-tariff barriers. Trade distorting non-tariff barriers to be replaced by tariff barriers. Means basically they said that those non-tariff barriers which are not favor or which are not supporting the trade, or it is hampering the trade, then they just replaced it with tariff barriers. Means for example, licensing we mentioned. Abolish licensing. Instead of licensing, use one thing: impose tariff. What's the use of it then? Yes, everyone, this question is to you. As I mentioned here, the tariff barrier and non-tariff barrier we already mentioned. The non-tariff barrier, one example is licensing or quantitative. Yes, technical barriers. These are the non-tariff barriers. So let's take example of licensing. They said that just abolish the licensing, and instead of licensing you can do one thing: impose the tariff. What is the advantage of it then? Yes, Neha, Preeti and all rest of the people. What do you think? What's the advantage of it? Hmm. What's the advantage of it? Very simple, guys and girls. Very simple question I asked you. The market access is the first point in agreement on agriculture. And what we have mentioned, they said that WTO said that trade distorting non-tariff barrier to be replaced by tariff barrier. So what's the use of it then? What's the benefit of it? Yes, a very simple question. And why I ask such type of question? It is very simple, because most of us mug up the things. We never try to understand what exactly it is. Once you understood very well, there is no need of mugging up the things. Yes, trade distorting non-tariff barrier to be replaced by tariff barrier. Then what's the advantage of it? Yes, Rudra, you are there. Good. Increase the revenue. Yes, what about others? Yes, boys and girls. Yes, boys and girls. What do you think? Only that reason is there? Yes, Neha, Preeti, and others. Are you there? Do you know? It's very simple. Why? How can you? First, what is the advantage of it? It's very simple. Earlier, they don't have access. Earlier, they don't have access. Now they are getting access to market. Advantage for the country who is importing, or sorry, who is exporting that product, because earlier they don't have access to the market. Now once the trade means, what they have to do, they are just to sell that product. Who is going to impose the duty? One particular country, suppose example India. India is importing that product and India is imposing taxes on that product. It's okay, but particular the country which export that product to India, they got that access to Indian market. They are selling, and if the product is good, still import duty is there. But if the product is good, people are going to purchase it. Don't you think so? That during the license Raj as well, during the so much imposition as well, people used to purchase the imported cars. They used to wear the imported clothes. It was there because the quality, finishing, and everything is more best. So once people are used to of it, then they can pressurize their government. It is the aspect. Along with that, if demand of that particular product is there, then particular country is going to pressurize WTO to reduce the tariff in that particular country. Got it? Yes, everyone. आम भाषा में आपको समझाया जाए तो ये एक बहुत आसान तरीका है कि यदि पहले तो आपके प्रोडक्ट को मार्केट ही नहीं मिल रहा था, है ना, मार्केट ही नहीं था, अब क्या हो रहा है कि ये जो प्रोडक्ट है, लेट मी एक्सप्लेन विद एग्जांपल ऑफ एनी पर्टिकुलर कंट्री सो दैट यू विल गेट एग्जैक्ट थिंग. तो ये दो देश है, एक है इंडिया और दूसरा है अमेरिका. क्लियर? इंडिया एंड अमेरिका, ये दो देश है. अमेरिका को ना पहले भारत में किसी प्रोडक्ट के लिए एंट्री ही नहीं थी. लेट्स टेक एग्जांपल ऑफ आईफोन. हम ऐसा कंसिडर करते कि आईफोन, ये आईफोन अमेरिकन कंपनी है, तो पहले ना भारत में आईफोन को अलाउ ही नहीं किया, मार्केट एक्सेस ही नहीं दिया, क्योंकि टेरिफ बैरियर में हमने लाइसेंस राइट है, नॉन टेरिफ बैरियर में तो हमने लाइसेंस ही नहीं दिया, तो आईफोन आए नहीं हमारे यहाँ पे. आईफोन आ ही नहीं सकते क्योंकि लाइसेंस है. लेकिन अब क्या हुआ कि यूएस ने डब्ल्यूटीओ में जाके कहा कि आप एक काम करो, इनको कहो कि आप टेरिफ बैरियर लगाएं, नॉन टेरिफ में पैसे लो आप हमसे, लेकिन हमारे प्रोडक्ट को आप इंडिया के अंदर एंट्री दो. जस्ट इंट्रोड्यूस टेरिफ बैरियर. सो ऑफ कोर्स व्हाट विल बी द रिजल्ट? पैसे ज्यादा देने पड़ेंगे आपको, बट आपको नहीं लगता कि आईफोन की एंट्री मार्केट में हो गई है? और जब कोई भी चीज अच्छी है, महंगी है, तो लोग उसे खरीदना पसंद करते हैं, और खरीदेंगे कौन? अमीर लोग. एंड इट इज गोइंग टू बी स्टेटस सिंबल एज वेल. तो पहले तो उनको एक्सेस नहीं मिल रहा था, अब एक्सेस मिल गया है और ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोग उसे खरीदने लगे. Am I right or wrong? So that is the main intention of this AOA. I am just giving an example of iPhone. It is related to the all other products as well. Agriculture related product. आपको समझने के लिए मैंने एक एग्जांपल दिया. तो their intention was there, trade distorting non-tariff barrier to be replaced with tariff barrier. Clear? Is that clear to you, everyone? Yes, everyone, is that clear to you? Next, what they said, reduction in the tariff. The second, reduction in the tariff and special criteria for developed and developing countries. और दो इनकी डिमांड है कि नॉन टेरिफ बैरियर को रिप्लेस किया जाए टेरिफ बैरियर से, और जहां पे टेरिफ बैरियर है उनको कम किया जाए. और इनमें भी दो अलग अलग गुट बनने चाहिए. कैसे? वन इज फॉर डेवलप्ड, अनदर इज फॉर डेवलपिंग. Clear? One is for developed country, another is for developing country. This should be, because you cannot apply the same rule for all. So that is the demand, or that is the agreement, that is agriculture agreement, non-tariff to tariff barrier, and those who are having tariffs then reduce the tariff, and the criteria may be different for developed and developing country. Is that clear to you? At least you can respond yes or no. Yes, is that clear to you? Any question, any query, any doubt? Yes, is there any question, any query, any doubt? No, clear. Very good. Okay. Now, as we have mentioned the three aspects, one, we have mentioned the market access, we already discussed. Second is domestic support. Now we are going to discuss the domestic support. What exactly the domestic support is? Domestic support is any kind of support. The word is any kind of support given by national government to agriculture sector is known as domestic support, because we are talking about AOA, and AOA is having three aspects. One is domestic support. Any kind of support given by national government to agriculture sector is known as domestic support, and it is having two categories. अब ये domestic support है, इसमें दो category है. One which distorted trade, and another is not distorted it. One distorted the trade, another is not distorted. Means जो पहला वाला है वो जो व्यापार है वो व्यापार के लिए नुकसान देता है, और दूसरा वाला जो है जो व्यापार को नुकसान उतना नहीं देता या कम देता है या कुछ भी नहीं देता. तो ये जो हमने डोमेस्टिक स्थानीय हम मदद कह सकते हैं या सपोर्ट कह सकते हैं, वो दो हिस्सों में बटा हुआ है यहाँ पे. वन which distorting the trade, another which is not going to distort the trade, or which is going to distort the trade in less manner. Clear? So this is going to divide into two categories as umber box. Remember, these words are important. Umber box, blue box, red box, green box, white box. So these boxes are important for us. Umber box, also known as red box subsidy. The word red, the color red, it symbolizes something danger is there. You have to stop. Yes, in the signal you have used to of it. That red signal is there, you have to stop. So umber box, also known as red box, means the subsidies which is going to distort, the subsidies which is going to distort it trade. That is known as red box subsidy. Like what? Which subsidies are there? So like the subsidies given to inputs like irrigation, fertilizers, power, etc. These all consist of red box subsidy. So here there is too much pressure from the developing and developed countries over this issue. Clear? That we always as a developing nation want to end this support, umber box subsidy. We want to end this red box subsidies. We pressurize the developed nation for the same. Means the countries which are supporting or they are giving the agriculture support in the form of irrigation, in the form of fertilizer, in the power of power, subsidy, that should be stopped, because it is a disadvantageous thing for those who are not going to support. Clear? So red box subsidy or umber box subsidies are those subsidies which are distorting the trade. An example, as I mentioned, subsidies given into inputs like irrigation, fertilizer, power, etc. The second aspect, as we mentioned, the first is of umber box. Second, non-distorted or minimal distorted subsidy. They are having green box. Green box itself, the word green is no restriction and all. Here the government provide the subsidies and here no limitation. Here the no limitation is there. You can provide as much as possible. Blue box subsidy, there is no limitation that as here the trade is not distorted or distorted in a minimal way, so there is no restriction. In blue box the trade is also not distorted but fixed upper limit. That's how much government is supporting them. How much government is supporting that there should be upper limit. After that they are not going to provide. That should be the blue box subsidy. Green box, there is no upper limit, nothing government can provide any type of things to them. Because these things are not going to distort the trade. Clear? These things means green box subsidies, if you can consider the government is providing seeds for irrigation, for agriculture. So can we consider it as a green box? Of course, it is not going to distort the trade because government is providing them good quality seeds so that they can produce more. So it is not going to hamper, it is not going to distort the trade. Blue box subsidy means those subsidy which are not going to hamper the trade, but there should be some upper limit. Clear? And the third is white box subsidy, and this white box subsidy is also known as special and differential. The word is special and differential subsidy. Clear? Here they are distorting the minimal, but exception is there, and yes, mostly Indian subsidies comes into the form of white box subsidy. A very best example, that is food security. Yes, the white subsidy, a very best example is of food security. Yes, everyone, is that clear to you? Umber box or red box, the subsidies are distorting the trade, so it should be completely abolished. Green box, blue box and white box. Green block, no restriction. Blue box, upper limitation should be there, and white box, they are special and differential. Special for related to that particular, and differential means different than other. The very best example is food security in India. Yes, everyone, is that clear to you? Is that clear to you? The first agreement we already discussed. The first agreement was basically AOA. Now we are going to discuss the second agreement, that is TRIM, trade related to investment measures. Yes, everyone, whatever we have discussed in AOA, is that clear to you? Any confusion is there? Yes, is there any confusion, any doubt, any question? No, nothing. Clear. All concepts are clear. Good. Yes. So trade related to investment measures. Investment measures. As this trade related to investment measures, this investment word is basically from investment from outside. Investment from outside, and what is expected in that, national government can put certain restrictions. Certain restriction can put, but there should not be any discrimination. Clear? There should not be any discrimination between domestic investment and foreign investment. Trade in investment. In that, they say that there should not be any discrimination, there should not be any preferential treatment. No, we have to protect the domestic market. No, it should be free for all. Means if foreigner wants to invest in India, they can. If domestic people want to invest in India, then they can. Clear? So such kind of treatment is given. There should not be any discrimination in that. But still, one aspect they mention that national government can put certain restriction if they consider it is against the principle of, or it is, if it is a question of national security. Clear? If it is a question of national security, then government can impose certain restriction over that. But otherwise, government should not interfere in that. Government is provide open market for all. If you want to invest, you can, either domestic there or the foreign there. So multilateral investment agreement is an instrument of it. This multilateral investment agreement is known as this MIA, is an instrument to implement TRIM. Now, my question to all of you. My question to all of you. What's the advantage? What's the advantages of TRIM? Yes, everyone. I'm asking you a very simple question. What's the advantage of TRIM? Trade related to investment measures. Hmm. Yes, Rudra. Neha. Rudra, Neha. Then Preeti. Yes, Sarita. TRIP is a different trade related to intellectual property. It is different. TRIM is different. Yes, that's why we are going to discuss everything. WTO part we are going to discuss in detail. Yes, everyone. What's the basic thing? What's the advantage of TRIM? Why you are not replying? Is that so difficult? If you considered it difficult, then really, really, are you serious? If I'm explaining in these words, these are very simple words. How can you consider it as difficult? Or maybe you do not have the words to express yourself. To safeguard local industry. No, 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 Rudra. It is not the case. The word, what is they mention? What is they mention? Trade related to investment measures, that is investment from outside. As I mentioned, investment from outside, and the trade TRIM is having this aspect. That is, there should not be any discrimination. There should not be any discrimination between foreign investment or domestic investment. Yes, Preeti said it creates a competition. Okay, it creates a competition. Intellectual property right is different. You do not get confused in TRIM and TRIP. These are two different aspects. TRIM is trade related to investment measures, and TRIP, 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 trade related to intellectual property. Yes, foreign currency received from TRIM provided inputs to foreign companies, foreign capital. Yes, exactly. Don't you think so that TRIM is going to help developing and underdeveloped nation? Yes, don't you think that TRIM is going to provide help to developing and underdeveloped nation? Why? Because these countries are having scarcity of resources. They want to build structure. They want to invest money, but they don't have. This foreign player is going to support them. FDI, don't you think so? FDI in India help India more. Do you agree with this fact that FDI investment after liberalization, globalization, and privatization, don't you think so? We allowed FDI and FDI played an important role in booming Indian economy. Yes, exactly, pretty. New technology and services also comes into that because FDI is there. When FDI is there, people are going to transfer the technology as well. You can see it is very visible to all of you. That is after pre-1991. Just look at the scooters, whatever the available in India. Look at their condition, and after 1991, whatever the scooters, bikes, or anything, they are more sophisticated. Clear? Yes, exactly. So now you get it. Yes, Sarita, what Sarita said. Views. Today is Sunday, that's why people are sleeping. And yes, because I recently joined this platform, so that's why people are not aware of it. And you are those who can propagate this thing. Okay, now you get it. What is the advantage of trim? Yes, everyone, now you get it. What is the advantage of trim? That those who haven't resources or those who are having lack of resources, they can promote that. They can promote the economic growth. They can boost the industries. Clear? Development, provide the employment, and all these are the aspects of trim. Clear? Now another question for you. What is the disadvantage of trim? Yes. What do you think? What is the disadvantages of trim? We mentioned, and you all mentioned that there are so many advantages. There are so many advantages of trim. Yes. But is there any disadvantage of trim as well? Is there any disadvantage or there is no disadvantage at all? If you consider there is no disadvantage, then actually the problem with all of us, remember one thing, there is no black and white in international relation or in trade. There are different shades. Clear? So we have to deal with the all. It is not the case everything is fine. Some limitations are always there. What do you think? What are these limitations? The first and most important thing, yes, Neha, exactly. It favors the rich country, means rich country can dominate. Means there is a disadvantage. We can consider that developed nation can dominate the underdeveloped. Yes, foreign companies may burst the domestic. Yes, yeah, now you are on the right side. Good, good. It may distort or destroy the domestic market. Yes, it may destroy domestic market. This is the case. And the third disadvantage I just want to share you, as the stream said that you have to open your market for all. Open your market. government should not impose restrictions over it. Certain restriction if it is a question of national security. That's all. Don't you think so? With this, government is going to lose their control. Government is going to lose the control. This is also the disadvantage we can consider because government right now is just like a helpless person. Means if the government can see the exploitation by these foreign companies, they are in helpless nature because if it is not the question of national security, government is not going to impose any restriction. Clear? Yes, exactly, Preeti. Monopoly is another important aspect of it. Monopoly. Monopoly, there is a possibility of establishment of monopoly. Why? Because they are going to destroy the domestic market, and there is a scope for monopoly as well. Good. Now you are on the right track and you know what exactly the things are. Good. Yes, so now I am considered that you all understood the trim very well. Clear? Next is a trip. Trip. In this lecture, I am going to give you some idea about the trip, some aspect, because we are going to discuss this thing in detail. Trip. What is trip? Trip is a trade related to intellectual property. Trade related to intellectual property. And this intellectual property is divided into 7 types. Like what? Very best example: patent, copyrights, trademark, trade secret, industrial design, design of IC. IC is integrated circuit. Means those who are quite aware of the electronic, or have you ever seen a green color plate is there, and such kind of things are through there. That is known as integrated circuit. It is very, even every phone and everything is having that black colored small chip is there. That chip is basically integrated circuit. अब engineer है तो उनको पता ही है, and those who haven't, then it's very simple. So, because it is also a technology, you know that integrated circuit means many circuits are integrated in one small. It is a, basically it requires skill as well as it requires what we can say a knowledge. Clear? And that should have a patent. That should have some what we can say the trade in that is also important. It should be protected, and that's why TRIPS is there. Trade related to intellectual property, and it is having classified into 7: patent, copyrights, trademark, trade secret, industrial design, design in integrated circuits, and yes, GI, that is geographical indication or indicator. Yes, everyone. So, my very basic question to you: whether patent and copyrights are same? Whether patent and copyright are same? Or they different? Whether the trademark and copyrights are same? Yes, everyone. Very interesting. I just want to ask only one question related to this. That is, patent and copyrights, are they same? Nope, they are different. Copyrights. Then what's the difference between them? Yes, what's the difference between them? Patent and copyright. What's the difference between them? Do you have any idea? Everyone, do you have any idea? If you have, please let me know. Yes, do you have any idea? Okay, I hope you don't have the idea, but you know this thing very clearly. That TRIP, that is patent and copyrights are different. Patents and copyrights are different. What's the difference and all we are going to discuss in the next lecture. Yes, everyone, we are going to discuss in the next lecture. What we are going to discuss? We are going to discuss the TRIPS and other agreements. Clear? Along with that, we are going to mention about India and WTO. Copyright refers to legal right of owner. Okay. Yes, so in next lecture we are going to discuss the TRIPS and other agreements and India and WTO. India's relation with WTO we are going to discuss. Okay, so that's all for today's lecture. Thank you very much for your valuable time. Those who want to connect with me, then you can connect with me through Unacademy _ Harshvardhan is my address. And yes, I hope all of you like the video. If you like it, just like, share, subscribe, tell others to do so. And yes, today at 9 o'clock in the evening, we will have a Modern India lecture. And yesterday, due to some technical error, I was not in a position to complete that. So today we are going to discuss the Modern India and the topic is moderates. Clear? So please join me there, and if you like the videos, then you can dedicate your hats which is available with you on the app. And I really want you to subscribe to Unacademy. As I mentioned, your subscription help us to make such wonderful videos lecture for you. That's all from my side. Thank you very much for your valuable time. Have a good day. Take care. Stay safe.